Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chumps. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Good evening, fellow Fox fans. How the devil are we? Come down to earth yet? Back in the world of reality? Pinch yourself so much it's almost self-harm? Hey, what a result to go into this week. And we are back in Europe. And you are watching Leicester Till I Die TV. Welcome along. Let us know your thoughts. We really want to hear what you think is going to happen in Thursday's game. This is the new night. Well, at least for a couple of weeks for the European show. Hopefully it will be going further as we stay in the competition. And if you are watching us, you can get us live on Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube, Leicester Till I Die, the group on Facebook. Click that StreamYard link so we see all your details come up, or stick your name at the end so we know who we're talking to. And on the final one, which is that one, Twitter and Periscope, we're at Leicester TID. Let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you. And if you want to listen to us rather than talk and watch us, and to be honest with you, I don't blame you, you can catch us about 15 minutes after the show ends. You are on all podcast platforms, including, of course, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and Google. We are back in Europe, quicker than England are. Slavia Prague against Leicester City. First leg away from home. Got to be honest with you, don't know an awful lot about Slavia Prague. Been doing a little bit of research, but I've got two chums that do know an awful lot about it because they have been working away like beavers. And when I say beavers, that is, of course, the water type of beaver, not the Katie Price sort of beaver. Am I allowed to say that? Not sure if I am. Let's bring them in and talk to them. First of all, let's say hello to Josh. Good evening, Josh.
How are you, Chris? You're right, bud?
Not so bad, mate. Have you been working away like Katie Price's beaver, have you?
Yeah, I've been busy.
I don't know what's had more work. Good evening to Facebook user. Good evening. Well said. It was a big week, and congrats to the lads for the FA Cup and Liverpool wins. Of course. Let's bring in, for those of you that think I'm going to say Brad, and it's going to be the Brad that was normally with us, including Mrs. Ahern. I know you've always tuned in hoping that it's going to be Brad. It is a Brad. It's a new Brad, and we're going to say good evening and welcome in to Brad Hicks. Good evening, Brad.
Evening, Chris. How are you?
I'm all right. And how are you? Still excited after the weekend?
Very, actually. Decent performance.
It was a surprising performance, I think.
Mm.
I think it definitely was. Well, we've got this on Thursday. We are away at the Sinobo Stadium. I probably pronounced that wrong, in Prague. 5 to 6 UK time, 17:55. It's on BT Sport if you have that platform, Radio Leicester and lcfc.com if you wish to listen to it. Brad, first question to you. An advantage playing away first leg?
I'd say it would be. There wouldn't be a disadvantage. It's a hard place to go and play football. They are a good side. I've been in plenty of times before. Let's just hope we can win.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit there, Brad, but coming back over to Josh, do you think it's an advantage? I mean, we topped the group, which meant we did have the home game second. So I guess, even UEFA think it's an advantage.
Yeah, it's. I'd say so. I think it's always nice. It's nice to have the second leg at home. I think it obviously means more when you've got crowds in, because especially we've seen when we're in the Champions League on European nights at the King Power, it's a special time. So yeah, overall, I think it's a slight advantage, but whether it will tell or not, hopefully it does. We'll soon see.
I mean, Brad, tell us a bit about Slavia Prague.
They're one of the best sides in the Czech Republic. They've won various championships over the years. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, it's still a good draw, though, isn't it? Compared to who we could have had.
Yeah, compared to like you say, we could have had. It's one of the better draws, so to speak. But like Brad just said, they're a cracking side so far this season. They're unbeaten in the league. Yeah, they ain't lost a game yet. I think so far they've played. I don't remember who played. They've won 16, drew 3, lost 9. They've scored 57 and only conceded 11 goals. So it's going to be tough. Again, it's a bit of an unknown entity for us, I guess. But yeah, they're a decent side, not to be overlooked, definitely.
I mean, looking at our respective tables, I mean, we're sat there in third, and it's thanks to West Brom that we're still on Man United's coattails. That was an unexpected result as well. Slavia Prague, just ahead of Sparta Prague, a bit like buses. You don't see one for years, then two come along at once. But they are sat top of their league.
Yeah, they're having a cracking season, mate, and it's. Like I say, it's hard to say. It's hard to know what you're really going to expect. From what I know of them and from the research that I have done, they look like they like to play a 4-5-1. So looks like they're going to sort of pack out the midfield. So it seem like like some Madison, Tielemans, and indeed if they are to play, they're going to have the work cut out, definitely.
And Brad, like you said earlier, they are. I know it's only the Czech league, but they're always sort of in Europe. Is that experience going to count for an awful lot, or is it just going to be like a cup game and anything can happen?
Probably. They faced English sides and failed before. So who knows what that'll bring for them. It's we could say experience for them, but who knows?
Who knows? Josh, I mean, we're going in on the back of that amazing Liverpool result. We're going up against them, and that we've got to go in with confidence, haven't we? Yeah,
definitely. It's like you say, going off the back of a massive win over the still English champions, isn't it? So it definitely gives you confidence. I guess I think for the likes of Vardy getting back on the score sheet, that's going to give him confidence as well, albeit it was quite a lucky goal, so to speak. So even little things like that, it's going to hopefully give us a bit of an edge going into the game. At the end of the day, it's the knockout stages of any European competition. That's sort of what you look to, isn't it? Really, I mean, it's nice. It's nice, always nice being involved in the group stage, but once you get to the knockouts, that's the real excitement of the competition. So.
It is, and just a shame none of us can be there. I mean, Brad, it wasn't a good game against Liverpool up until about the 75th minute. We were when they scored, it was a case of when rather than if. But it doesn't matter if you score what is 1-0 and it goes in off your backside. It gives you that confidence, and the fact that we won 3-1 will be remembered by the players, I'm sure, longer than the performance itself.
Yeah, it's what they're going to do. That's what the difference is, really. Let's just hope we can win.
Yeah. Josh, I mean, looking at the form here, this is Slavia Prague's form. And they've not lost for a while. Just looking at it there, they've drawn 1 and won 4 of their last 5. Yeah. They're not going to be. I mean, they're not going to be going into this with no confidence, dreading playing Leicester, are they?
Not at all, mate. Like you say, you even look at the goals they've conceded. They've already conceded 11 goals, so I wouldn't be going there expecting to score a bucketful, because it looks like they like to keep it tight at the back. They're on good form, mate. And the thing is, they're an unknown entity to us, but I guess we are to them as well, really. Compared to the so-called bigger English teams, the Uniteds, Arsenal's, Chelsea's, and stuff. So it's sort of both sides going into a game where we don't really know much about each other, really, and I think it's the first time we've ever played them in the history of both of us being around. So it's going to be interesting.
I mean, looking at that stat, Brad, they actually haven't lost all season. They played 16 games. They've not lost 1. It's almost like a little bit, are we going to be watching this through our fingers sort of thing here, isn't it?
Well, it's scary, I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But they're more experienced in Europe, so it's but as I say, it's going to be hard for us, and I don't think we can take these lightly.
No, but again, Brad, looking at our form, we're not doing, we're not any slouches ourselves. We had that Leeds dip, which we'll try and forget about. But, apart from that, we've been going along great guns, haven't we? And we've also not lost against one of the so-called top 6 sides yet.
No, well, that's why we're third. They've been performing brilliantly at the moment. So, it's going to be our game. Well,
Josh, again, you're breaking up again a little bit, Brad. Josh, I hadn't realised how well we'd actually done against the so-called Big 6.
I know, yeah. I mean, so far, obviously Liverpool beat us earlier in the season. We got us own back over them on Saturday. But when you look at it so far, we beat Spurs, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. It's definitely been different for us, put it that way. But again, it's all good. It's all good doing well against them sort of teams. But as we know, Chris, and we've said this before, when it comes up against the likes of your Fulhams and things like that, and luckily we beat them second time round. But it's a strange old season, but long may it continue for us, hopefully.
Yes. we're looking at getting Chandow Dave on apparently, but I don't think he's too keen. Somebody's saying, when are they going to get you on this? Chandow, you're welcome on anytime. Just send us a message and we'll get you on. We can, we're always happy to have people pop on. You only have to do a cameo role if you want. I can't speak tonight. I tell you, it's the excitement. Are we going to have trouble, Brad? We're going back to 2 games a week. The injuries are mounting up again. Is it going to affect us, or are we better prepared for it this half of the season?
I think we should do well. I think that Brendan will probably know what it's like to be training in 2 times a week, because we've had the group stages previously. So, yeah, I think we should be better off for it, really.
And would you agree with that, Josh? I mean, we had 2 games a week, obviously, when we were in the group stages, and you could say we had a worse injury situation there. As bad as it is now, it was bloody awful at the start of the season. Brendan's, prepared for it. We've got to be better prepared than we were before, do you not think?
Yeah, I think, like you say, we're a lot better off now than what we were at the start of, like you say, the Europa League campaign, and obviously at the start of the season. It just seems like there's, even though there ain't been a Europa League game now for 2 or 3 months, something like that, since the last one. It still seems like we've been having 2 games a week, regardless. Really, there's been a lot more midweek Premier League games this season. We've obviously been trying to get the fixtures in. We've had FA Cup midweek and all sorts, really. So I think it bodes well for us, really. I think the lads have. It seems like they've definitely got used to playing 2 games a week. I think so far, Brendan's managed the squad really well. He's rotated when he's had to. Unfortunate injuries, really, like with James Justin obviously being out. I think that was just a bit of a freak injury, to be honest with you. Other than that, he looked like he could go play every single game and not really look unfit. So that were a shame. But yeah, other than that, I think things like that with the way we played this season and the performances that the majority of players have put in. Well, in fact, no, that's unfair. I think every player really. It doesn't worry me at all. I think we've got enough to finish the season strongly.
I suppose I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask this anyway. Fofana out, Justin out, they're big losses, aren't they, Brad?
Yeah, it's been mentioned before how many injuries we've got, although according to Charlie anyway. So, yeah, it's more important that we manage those to make sure if we do get to the final, we have a better luck, really.
Yes, yeah. We didn't, we did well in the group here, Josh. We lost one, which was the surprise lot, the one we probably after the first few games least expected to lose away to Zoira. Didn't really matter at that point, did it? We just made it a little bit harder for ourselves going to the last game. But when you look at that, and you could argue that it's not the biggest group, the strongest group ever, but you can only play against who you're drawn against. But it's we did bloody well, didn't we?
Yeah, we really did, mate. And the thing is, as well, you look at a lot of teams like the teams that we drew in the group. A lot of them, they're used to playing sort of European football, Europa League sort of football. So I think they had a bit of an, granted we've got the better players, but a lot of them ain't really played in Europe before, so it were new to them. The likes of Maddison and players like that. So I think we did really well, mate, and to win the group as we did with relative ease, like you say, apart from the one loss. I think for me, it's been really successful campaign so far in Europe, definitely.
And Brad, are we doing the Wolves, are we proving all the people that said you can't play in Europa and have a good season wrong? Because we're still up there, aren't we? And a bit like Wolves, we're not struggling in the league.
No, but that's the difference. You see, Wolves have all these Portuguese players who, I suppose, don't know the difference between what the Premier League is and what Europe is, because they've not played in Europe once. Barrow, Patricio, and Martinho, and we've got players who have played in Europe before, like Vardy and Schmeichel and those players.
Yeah. Josh, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I know you love it when I do that to you. Is Brendan? I mean, he surprised me. Liverpool, we had no Justin. There was rumours whether we'd go 3 at the back or 5. He stuck to his 4 and put Ricardo on the left. Is he going to stick to the 4? Well, we always think of it as a 4-1-4-1. Some people have said it's a 4-2-3-1. But is he going to stick with that same formation?
It wouldn't surprise me. I think, like I say, especially the first leg being away from home, I think he might be slightly cautious. So it wouldn't surprise me if we did go 4-1-4-1. I mean, but look how well it's worked for us so far this season.
Yeah.
So it's I can see him sticking with that definitely. But it's not something that particularly it worries me. It gets the job done, and look how well it's boded for us this season.
Brad, just to sidetrack a bit there, a message from Stephen Collins. Enjoy your posts on Facebook regarding the underage teams and the wealth of knowledge you have. It has helped me become more familiar with our development teams. Many thanks. I think it's true. A lot of us will echo that opinion. Facebook user here saying Burnley struggled in Premier League when they were in the Europa League a couple of seasons ago. That was the point, that I was making. We seem to have got rid of that curse. We've dropped Brad. We've dropped Morgan out of the European squad, but we've added Amati in. What can you see the 4 at the back looking like? Who would you have as a 4 at the back?
I'd have P as right back. Probably Toyonchu and Evans as centre back if he's fit. And I wouldn't know who they'd go for on left back. I'd probably go Fuchs.
I was going to say, and I'll leave that over to you, Josh. Fuchs back. We know the experience he's got and he brings, but he hasn't got the speed. And if he, loses the ball, he can struggle to get back. Or maybe Luke Thomas. I mean, he's played and scored in Europe for us, so it's probably not going to faze him.
I think you're right. I'd like to see Luke Thomas start, but I think he might go for Fuchs just for experience. As we know, Fuchs, he's played for us in the Champions League. He's played in the Champions League before for his previous clubs. So it's I think away from home, like you say, I think Brendan will probably want to go for a bit more experience. Hopefully, bring a positive result back to the King Power. So it wouldn't surprise me if Fuchs starts.
Just sticking with you for a second, Josh. Would a draw be a good result for us?
Yes and no, really. No, for the fact that you always want to take it back to your place, especially in the second leg, with a lead. But yes, again, because it's like I said, these are we don't really know a lot about them, but we know that they're having a really good season. Like I say, top of the league, they're unbeaten. They've got European experience, probably more than we have, really. So yeah, from both sides of things, really. Yes and no, really. I mean, I'd take a draw back because I'd fancy us at the King Power, definitely.
Brad, do you know, do they count away goals as double, or have they stopped doing that now in the Europa League?
Yes, they do count away goals. It's not an easy system, but if we were to go there, say if actually,
I was thinking
Slavia were to score, and if Slavia was to score again, and it was 2-1, they would probably win.
Yes. But but if it was equal at the end of the two legs, whoever's got the away goals or more away goals would go through. So if it was a score draw rather than a 0-0, a score draw would probably suit us quite well, Brad.
Yeah.
Okay, looking, and I say you two guys have been doing the old beavering away. Brad, sticking with you, what players should we be looking out for?
Probably Mick Van Buren, the striker, the Dutch striker, and Peter Olayinka, the Nigerian striker. They are two very good players from what I know of.
And Brad, have anybody else you've had looked at and thought, that they could cause us trouble?
Really?
Or do you agree with Brad?
Is that me or Brad? Me.
You agree with Brad? Sorry, was what I was saying.
Yeah, I did. To be fair, I think he cut out when I heard the first player, but I know there's a player called Abdelham Sima, Senegalese forward. He's 19. He's one of the top scorers in the league, along with another player from Slavia Prague. He's got 3 goals in 6 games in the Europa League. He's at 11 in the league, and I know he was wanted by Arsenal and also West Ham, and apparently some have called him the future of football. Now, believe what you want into that. And he's got he draws comparisons with one Thierry Henry. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But I think he's one to look out for. And I think, like you say, I mean, attacking wise, like you say, they've scored 57 goals. So they're going to fancy themselves going forward, and they look like they're going to be difficult to break down in defence.
And again, Josh, I'll stick with you. You and Brad there have said, like, it's the strikers we've got to worry about. You both said that, but Josh, our defence is worrying. I mean, you look at the teams that both, the back four that both you and Brad have picked. It's not a bad back four with Evans and Soyuncu. Should we be worried?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think at the start, had we played these at the start of the season, I might have been a bit more worried because defensively we looked a bit shaky. But I think over the last couple of months we've shored things up. I know you spoke about it in the post-match show with the Liverpool game with Brad and Julian. And you said, I think like defensively, especially on corners now, we're not conceding as many, and we don't really look like conceding from set pieces that much anymore. Touch wood, famous last words and all that. But we just look a bit more assured now. I think I know Johnny Evans. I know he was sort of limping a bit on Saturday. Now that's one injury that I was really worried about, because I think we're a bit thin on the ground, centre backs wise at the minute. Obviously, Fofana being out as well. So defensively, mate, I'd say I'm more positive than I have been at any time this season. Really, I think we're looking really good at the back.
And you don't have to worry, Josh, about saying scoring from a goal from a corner. We've done it now.
It's done. It's done now. We can finally put that to bed. Thank God.
Can I just say it was the 1 week you didn't do the pre-match show at all, so I don't. I'm going to ask Brad this first, and I'm going to come back to you, Josh, with the same question. Brad, does under start in this game? I know. Sorry about that.
I don't know. Risky to start in this one, but I think I would.
I mean, you're looking at Albrighton, Perez, or under probably. Although you might see Albrighton, playing that right back role if he puts Pierre, Ricky over back on left back again. So he's looked good in Europe, hasn't he? Under Brad, but you think him over Perez?
Yeah, you really want to be starting him in the league rather than in Europe.
I mean, Josh, I don't know what Under's done wrong. I mean, there are the rumours that we have to pay so much or we have to sign him if he plays so many games, and then the other rumours are that he's not sure about him totally. Rodgers and Perez, he sees something in Perez maybe the rest of us don't. Would you start Under, or would you carry on with Perez?
I'd start Under, and I think we'll see him start as well personally, because he's I think like most Europa League games when he started, they have been his starting games for us in Europe. I think he's very much a player that suits European football, maybe more than Premier League football. But as I've said, I think so far when he's came on and he's shown what he can do. I'd say the one negative, and I noticed it massively against Brighton when he started in the FA Cup last week, is he can be overly greedy at times. Having said that, we got used to Riyad Mahrez. He loved the ball at his feet more than anybody, I guess. But 9 times out of 10, it worked out for him because he was an absolute magician. Yeah. So, again, I like Under. I think he'll start tomorrow because, as I said, I think Brendan sees him as a good fit for the European games. I'd start him over Perez, definitely.
Yeah. Somebody just saying here, is Perez injured? Not that I know of. I don't think he's injured. Does anybody know if he's injured at all?
I've not seen it.
No, I've not seen. Maybe it was just us with talking about Under, but we just we just kind of like Under over Perez. I think that's what it is. But you don't know. This is Brendan surprised us sometimes with his team selections, doesn't he? So going to finish now, but I'm going to ask you guys finally, come to you first, Brad. First leg, what we're going to come away with? What are you going to go for a score prediction?
I'd say 2-1. Not going to be easy, but we'll get the win.
2-1 to us or 2-1 to Prague?
Us.
To us. Good man. It was just with the 2-1 with us being away. You had me worried there. Brad, going to let you go now. It's a bit of a bad line. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. And thanks for your information and all your help. Take care, Brad.
All right. See you later.
Stay safe, mate. Take care. Josh, what are you going to go for?
I was going to go for a 2-1, but I think for the fact of being different, I'm going to go for 3-1 to us. I think we'll. I know. I think
you've been shamed into it by Peter, haven't you?
Mate, like I said to you before we come on air, there's no way I'd have picked 3-1. So fair play to him on Saturday. That were incredible. That was he knew what you were on about, didn't he? But I'll go for 3-1 for Thursday. Fingers crossed.
I tell you what, he's given me the lottery numbers for this weekend as well, by the way.
Yeah, that's it.
Stephen's gone here 2-1 to Leicester. Personally, I think it's going to be a tough game. I really, really do. And I think it will be a 1-1 draw. I would be happy to come away with the 1-1 draw.
I'm with you as well, mate. To be honest with you, like I said, I just said 3-1. I just thought I was going to go for 2-1, but I'll be different. But I agree, mate. I don't think a 1-1 draw would be the end of the world. I think it's vital that we do get an away goal, though, definitely.
Yes.
Like I said, I mean, like I said, attacking wise, they look really good. I know you can only go up against what they're playing in the Czech league, so we don't know. I mean, personally, I don't know anything about it really. But they look like they can score plenty of goals. So I think it's vital we get at least one away goal on Thursday anyway.
It would, I'd say, it's helpful to have that away goal in your locker, isn't it?
It is definitely, and hopefully we can sort of get it early in the game, and then it's sort of it's out of the way, and then fingers crossed you can sort of enjoy the rest of the 90 minutes.
Yeah, Stephen. Yes, he does. For me, he's got to start Vardy. If Vardy's fit, he's got to start, and seeing how the game goes on, bringing Inchy in afterwards, possibly see how we go. As always, Josh, thanks very much, mate. If you can hold on, I'll have a chat with you afterwards in the offline studio. So if you can hold on for a bit, that would be great.
Of course, mate, no problem.
But thanks very much, mate. And we will, fingers crossed for, at least an away goal. But if it's a win, even better.
Hopefully, mate. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully.
Cheers, mate. I'll speak to you in a minute. Take care, mate.
Look after yourself, Chris. Ta-ra, mate.
Cheers.
Bye, pal.
Bye-bye. So there we go. We are back. 2-1 goes Brad. 3-1 goes Josh. Ooh, and I've gone 1-1. Don't get your lottery tickets off me. I haven't been right all season. Don't forget, if you want to listen to us, give us 15 minutes and you can catch us on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Anchor and Google Podcasts as Leicester Till I Die. We're going to be back tomorrow night with the preview show, another preview show. We're going to be looking ahead to the Villa game, and hopefully Steve Linux will be joining Craig and me to do that. And then, of course, we are going to be back with the match on Wednesday with the pre-match show with Josh and Peter, and the post-match with Brad and Julian. Take care, guys. Stay safe. It's been great. Been great talking to you. Thanks for Josh for coming on. Thanks to Brad for coming on and helping me out with that. We're going to see you, like I say, tomorrow at 7. Please take care, guys. Stay safe and up the Foxes. Good night now.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.